M equals 50 minus 9D. Let's try to represent this using words, right? Like, what does this mean using words? M is the amount of money, and it's equal to 50 minus 9D. Guys, what was D? DVDs. The number of DVDs. So if the number of DVDs is being multiplied by 9, what does that mean? If the number of DVDs, D, is being multiplied by 9 and subtracted from 50, what is this problem saying? If I take the number of DVDs that I buy and I multiply them by 9, what does the 9 mean? People, if I have D DVDs and each of them, I'm multiplying it by 9. What does that mean? What does that mean? The amount of what? The amount of money for what? A DVD. So 9 here is the amount of money for a DVD. So if I purchased 4 of them, what would D be?
45. Negative 45.
Well, D would not be 45. What would the letter D become? If I'm buying 4 DVDs. If I'm buying 4 DVDs. No, D would not be negative 36.
36.
It would be 4. Why, Maya?
Because D represents the number of DVDs.
Good. D is the number of DVDs. Now, what would be the amount that I'm paying for 4 DVDs? If it's $9 per DVD, and I'm buying 4 of them. $36, okay? So what they're doing here is they're saying, okay, you start with $50. We are starting, this is our starting cash. And each time we buy a DVD, we're multiplying it by 9 and subtracting that from 50. So if we bought 4 DVDs, so we subtracted 36, how much money would we have left? If we had 50 and we bought 4 DVDs, how much money would we have left? Is equal to 50, which is our starting cash, minus 9 times whatever number of DVDs we're going to buy. Okay? Now, our domain are all the values of our input. Which of these two variables, the M or the D, is going to be our input or our independent variable? Which of those two is our independent variable? What? D. Why is it D? Why is D our independent variable? That's what we're inputting. Do you guys see that? What would our dependent variable be then? M. So, our domain is going to be all the values of D. In other words, the number of DVDs that we can buy. Okay, so let's start with D being 0. Could we buy 0 DVDs?
No.
Yeah.
Why not? Have you bought a DVD yet? So have you bought 0?
Yeah.
So is it possible to buy 0 DVDs? Could you buy a negative amount of DVDs? No, right? That doesn't really make sense. You can't owe the like Blockbuster or whatever. You can't owe them a DVD. Could you buy 1 DVD?
Yes.
Because you have $50, so you could buy 1. Could you buy 2?
Yeah.
Could you buy 3? Could you buy 4?
Yeah.
Could you buy 5?
No.
How much would it cost to buy 5 DVDs? $45. Do we have enough money to cover the cost of $45?
Yeah.
Could you buy 6?
No.
Why not?
Because it goes over the amount.
It goes over our starting cash. Do you guys see that? So we're only going to buy 0 through 5 DVDs. Guys, could you buy a half of a DVD? Could you walk into this store, break the DVD in half, and only pay for half of it? No. They'd probably kick you out. Do you agree? So, are we able to include 0.5 as part of our domain? No. So, if we're only buying whole DVDs, if we're only buying this list, is this a discrete or a continuous domain? This is discrete. Why? Why, Casey? You can only buy whole DVDs. Write that in there. It's discrete because you can only buy whole DVDs. Now, the second part says graph the function using its domain. So we have to use these numbers for our domain, plug them in for D to give us our range. Once we have our domain and range, we've got a bunch of points and we can plot them. So our range, we're going to start by plugging in D equals 0. So we're going to have, okay, M is going to be 50 minus 9. I'm plugging in what for D? 0. So multiply 9 by 0. What's 9 times 0, guys?
0.
So it's 50 minus 0, which is 50. My first point, it's no longer x comma y. It's going to be D comma M, my input comma my output. My D value is 0. What was my M? 50. So 0 comma 50 is my first point. What should I plug in next? D equals to 1. I have to do this for the entire domain. So D equals 1. We're going to get M equals 50 minus 9 times 1 equals 50 minus, what's 9 times 1? 50 minus 9 gives me 41. So what's my second point? 1 comma 41. Are you guys starting to see it now a little bit? So why are we subtracting? Because as we increase the number of DVDs that we're buying, wouldn't the amount of money that we have left go down? So if we bought 0 DVDs, you agree we would still have $50?
Oh.
If we bought 1 DVD, Casey, how much money do we have now?
41.
Why do we have 41 now?
Because you bought one CD.
You bought 1 DVD, which was $9. Okay. What about D equals 2? I would get M equals 50 minus 9 times 2. What's 9 times 2, people? So it's 50 minus 18, which gives me 32. So what's my third point? 2 comma 32. D equals 3. What am I going to get here? 23. Very good, Ryan. Okay, let's keep going. This point will be 3 comma 32. Whoops, no, 23. 3 comma 23. Keep going. D equals 4. M equals 50 minus 9 times 4, which is going to give me 50 minus 36, which is 14. So my next point is 4 comma 14. And then D equals 5. We're going to do M equals 50 minus 9 times 5 equals 50 minus 45, which is going to be 5. My last point would then be 5 comma 5. Why can't I use 6? Good. Can we pay for a DVD that we don't have money for? No. Because if we plugged in 6, you would get 50 minus 9 times 6, which would be not 50 minus 54, which would mean that we would owe the DVD store $4, which you can't really owe the DVD store $4. They're not going to let that slide. They're going to be like, no, you can buy 5 of them, but you can't buy that 6th one because you don't have enough money for it. Okay, so now we have to graph these, okay? But we're not dealing with X and Y anymore. What are our new variables? D and M. D was our independent or dependent? Independent. So that one always goes on the horizontal axis. And M was our dependent or independent? Dependent, and that always goes on the vertical axis, okay? So if you need to label that, your dependent will always go up here. And your independent will always go on this side. Okay? In other words, D was your input. Those are going to go on the horizontal axis. And M was your output. So that'll go on the vertical axis. Now, you can pick whatever units you want, right? But like for M, you don't want to pick units of 1 because there's no way that you're going to fit 50 on there. Do you see how the range includes 50? So what should we count by in the vertical direction? Chloe? By 5s? 5s would also be cutting it close. Yeah. 10? I like 10s. Let's count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Guys, you do not have to count by the same units for your y-axis as you do your x-axis. So for D, what should we count by for D, the number of DVDs? By 1s, right? Because we're going to buy 1 at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, look back at the work that we did. What was the first point that we had? 0, 50. Where would that go on our graph? Where would that go? Just, don't move it all from the middle, from the very center, and just go up 50 units. So we're going to start right here. Because if we buy 0 DVDs, how much money do we have? $50. As soon as we buy 1 DVD, how much money do we now have? 41. So 1, 41 is our next point. Where am I going to plot 1, 41? Obviously, I'm going to be right here at the 1. Where am I going to put the 41? Hannah?
Just a little bit above.
Good. Just a little bit above what number? 40. So you're going to put it right here. Oh, do we all see that? What was 2? If we bought 2 DVDs, how much money did we have? $32. So go to the 30, go a little bit above 30, and put another dot. At 3, it was 3 comma 23. So again, a little bit above 20, getting closer to the middle, in between 20 and 30, right? Because right in the middle of 20 and 30, what number would this be? Right in the middle of 20 and 30. 25, right? So we're still below the middle, but closer to it. At 4, how much money do we have? 14. So really close to the middle, because the middle would be 15. Do you guys agree? And then at 5, how much money do we have? $5. What do you notice about the points that I just plotted?
It's going in diagonal.
It's a straight line. We knew this was going to be a straight line because our equation was linear. Do you guys agree? It was b minus mx. So if we just reverse the order, it would be mx plus b. Do you guys agree? We could rewrite our equation as y equals negative 9x plus 50. Or in our case, there was d instead of x and m instead of y. This is an mx plus b form. Therefore, it should have been a linear line. Now, we do not draw a line through these points. We don't, because what was our domain? Was it discrete or continuous? It was discrete. So we're going to leave these points, and this is our final answer. Okay? If it's ever discrete, don't draw a line through them, okay? If it's continuous, you're gonna draw a line through those points. Questions?